Cucumbers are delicious and nutritious, and they're popular. Why are they not profitable? Two reasons: mainly the yield of the plant, second, the amount of space it takes up. This is what I have for 1 week. Roughly, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 bags. Each bag about 4 pounds, more or less. So let's just average that out. That's with 17 plants, 16 plants, 25. If we have 25 in a 50-foot bed at every 2 feet, that gives you over $500 every month. From 25 plants, $500. But I'm going to show how to make it profitable, because they definitely can be. Anything 50-foot bed, $500 plus. Let's say we're between $500 and $600 every month, and you don't have any do work. You can get cucumbers for a good 2 months off of that bed without having to do anything except water it. It's not beating lettuce and maybe not even beating tomatoes, but it's definitely profitable. You're making money and you're doing very little work, and they're selling. We obviously can turn these around very quickly. These are very sweet, they're very delicious, very juicy. People said they're the best cucumbers they've ever had. I got a good variety. I got lucky, and then I grew the seeds from them. The variety they stopped selling, so I grew the seeds, and they were even more adaptable the second time around after they lived in this area in Florida. So how do you make them profitable? Okay, the first thing to good cucumbers is a good way of seeding. I seed in these. They're 2-inch by 1-inch, 2-inch long. Perfect for sunflowers, cucumbers, melons, which I have here, and squash as well. So 10 by 20, 2 inches deep, 1 inch in diameter. Then you'll put them in these trays that don't drain. All right. The next thing you need to do is a good soil to start. 4 tubs of these of peat moss into the wheelbarrow, 1.5 of these of compost in the wheelbarrow, and 2 of these containers of perlite into the wheelbarrow. Then after I take it out, I mix it up with my hand. Okay, so this tray is looking really rough because I didn't think that any of these plants would germinate. I thought it was done, but it seems they're still coming up, so that's good. I'm gonna grab them and it'll show you how that I do this. I use coffee filters for melons and cucumbers, but not squash, zucchini, and never for lettuces or anything else. Corn, yes. So here we go. The coffee filter. I have everything set up. I got my soil. It's moistened. Oh, it's not enough. Here we go. I want it so that it squeezes some juices out, and that's about right. And in this process, it's a good time to take out any sticks. Not gonna spend too much time, but if there's any really big ones, there you go. All right, set this, get that ready. About 1 pinch. It would equal about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter of a little ball. All right. This is a honeydew melon. You should label them if you're putting them all in one tray, as I do. And gently take them out, root and all. Put it in there, squish it, bring it up. And we're gonna squeeze gently, a couple squeezes, and we put it in the tray. There's 2 in there. I'll let that grow out a little bit, and then I will cut the other one off. Want 1 for each little ball. Very carefully to go along the side, not kill the roots. I found if you do, they do mostly come back. That one I did not damage the roots. Again, curl, wrap around, squeeze gently, compact it, and put it in the tray. So they are in this tray from seed to the next point for about 1 week. They will germinate and be ready to transfer in about 1 week. Do one more. So I only have about one more honeydew melon. That's honeydew melon there. I know because I put a dividing line of nothing in between the honeydew and the cantaloupe. Other than that, there's no real way to tell the difference between the two at this stage, unless you're really good. And again, wrap it up in a nice little ball, compress, and put it into the tray. And that's how I do that for 1 week. They will sit now in this tray for 1 week also. That's 2 weeks. Do it a little different. I'm not gonna put them at all in the coffee filter. Instead, I'm gonna take the soil, fill it 2/3, compact it to 1/3, put the plant in there, have a little dirt around the edges. This is yellow squash. We're going to put it right there. Soil around the edges. And just going to gently firm it there. Again, 2/3 full, compact it to 1/3. Put soil around the edges. All right, so these are I was already doing another tray, and I have about 5 extra. I fit 24 in each one of these trays, and these are dough rising trays. They're a little expensive, like $15 each, but they last forever, and you can use them. I use them for everything. Water gets in there, and I can do a little bit of hydroponics hybrid here, so I can do half soil, half hydroponics. They just grow really well. So when I water them, I leave the water sitting there for an hour or two, and then I drain it. These trays are a necessity for me. All right, so I take a cup, about 2/3 full. Compact it to 1/3. Take my start. The roots are coming out. That's when you know it's time. You see the small roots, sometimes more so than others. All right, take that. 3 clumps around the edge. We're going to compress it along the edge because the ball is already in the middle. And we're going to take it off the top. All right, we're going to have a little dry. Doesn't matter if it's dry or whatever, we're going to water soon. And I compress to the top. No matter how hard you push, because the top's going to stop you. And that's it for now. I'm going to do another one. I am going to water a little bit. Watering soil. Here it's dry. Watering for these, I used that last soil from the last one because I was doing a different tray. But it's a little bit less water when I'm doing this. I don't want it sopping wet. I want it moist to clump, and that's about it. I don't want it breaking apart too much, but I do want it to crumble. So you see, I can't wring any water out of that one. And how I know, you just do it enough, you know how much water to add, and you'll see it. All right, so that's, again, the cup, 2/3 full. Rest to 1/3. Take your start. Little roots coming out, so I know it's good. 1, 2, 3. And I hold it by the rim because it won't squeeze the side. Because if I squeeze the side, then it won't fill that area as thick. Press it. 1, 2, compress it to the top. Done. Do one more. 2/3 full. Oops. Press it to 1/3. Grab your start. Some roots. Oops. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Grab it by the rim. Press around the edges. I'm not applying too much pressure that it's destroying the roots or anything. Just firm. And then 1 and 2. Compress it to the top. And that's that. Now, why I use these cups rather than square is think about your hand. You're picking it up. When you get the plant, you want to take it out. It's very easy. You just squeeze it and turn it. It's very easy. The squares don't work as good for me. And I really like these. They're the perfect size. I think they're 4 inches. I don't know. I think they're 4 inches. Definitely not 3 inches. Yes. So this is 3 inches. And I'm not a big fan of them. A little too small for me. I like 4 inches. And that's it. And then I get them out into sun, full sun at 2 weeks. And they're gonna grow. I got overheads here, so I use the nice mist over them. It's been thunderstorming lately, not a big deal. I just drain the water later. So these are the honeydew melon over here, or no, the cantaloupe, and these are honeydew melon here. Lots of extra honeydew. But that's it. Get them in the sun as fast as possible and get them growing. When I first moved here, everyone said, you cannot grow cucumbers here in this area. They don't grow well. My neighbors laughed when I said I'm trying, and I kept doing it. I'm German, my wife's Lithuanian. We need our cucumbers. We had to find a way to grow cucumbers here. Once I found the method, I'll tell you, it was insane. Main thing, only grow them in the spring. When it comes July, late June, July, there's these worms. I'm from the north. I don't remember the name offhand. Oh, they will remove the plant from your garden in days. All right. So how you grow them is the way I found growing them is you turn the soil. If you're starting new, just take your grass and turn it over. That's what I'm doing the whole front yard. Turn it over. Lay some wood chips down. Landscape fabric over the top. And then plant directly through the fabric. All right, so you take landscape fabric, you put it down, burn a hole in it, and plant the start right in there. The landscape fabric is really good for protecting against solarization. You want that good soil life in there. Cucumbers really require it. And if you're burning them all off from the sun, then you're not gonna get good cucumbers. Okay, so this is a 50-foot bed. As you see, we'll walk along here. I don't have cucumbers everywhere. So we're showing this is a very thin patch of cucumbers. And they're about, this row is about done. You see, I even took some out. And the reason is because I can't even keep up. They're about done. Most important thing is the bed. So I do have the wood chips. You really want the best tasting cucumbers. Really grow it in a thick compost. Okay, but here in the summer in Florida, it's too hot and the ground gets solarized and all life is pretty much killed. So you want to put landscape fabric underneath. Grow them on the ground. I will show you why I grow them on the ground. All right, so this is a traditional method, or a common method I should say, where everyone's growing it off the ground. And this may work in a greenhouse as it has its purposes, but I learned how to grow cucumbers in Lithuania. Everything's on the ground. And the reason is because it covers better. And you see, there are 0 flowers on here. I got a few cucumbers, but it's nothing compared to being on the ground where it's covering it in full sun. If I pull it off this way in Florida, the plant would just die. All right, so I want to grow it off the ground. Now I got a few, and they're okay. I'm gonna take some off. And I prefer this size here, just a little bit. See the yellow? All right, I'm gonna show the difference. Let me grab the last one. The difference between growing on the ground and on a trellis or a fence. All right, I got 2. The next thing, before I show you the other cucumbers growing out there, is what variety to grow. You want the one that produces the highest yield. So you got to experiment a little bit, find a few that you like, if you're gonna buy online, and then just try and see what you're getting the best of. Okay, so these are the cucumbers my wife wanted from Europe. Not looking good. It's got some weird growth. I got a lot of good ones in here, or I should say a few good ones. All right, for pickling cucumbers. All right, that's a nice one. I like that. Okay, very small and very sparse. Now this is at the end of its year, but here I got 2. All right, this is 4 plants. 4 plants I have right here, growing on the ground. Got 3. And that's it. 3. Okay, not very profitable. Again, these beds are at the end of their life. I'm about ready to seed again, but now I'm gonna go and pick all of the ones in this row, and we're gonna look at the difference. All right, so that's about 4.5, 5 pounds, and I can count the plants, so you give it back the numbers. But the main thing is that I do that every single day with this few plants. So I added it up. Do the math, let's see. 1, 2, about 17 plants, 5 pounds a day. Now I could fit them a lot closer, okay? Because some of these are like 2 feet apart and they're growing better that way. So that's definitely profitable. At $3 a pound for these type of cucumbers, they're producing cucumbers in 1 month. Put them in pots, put them in the ground when they produce the first flowers. We got cucumbers in 1 month. We've been getting cucumbers off here for about 2.5 months. Plenty of room on this beach for visitors.
I hope this video helped. I got another coming, so like and subscribe to catch next week. Before I go, I want to share something with you. I know firsthand the frustration that comes with spreadsheet garden planning and unreliable apps. That's why my son and I created the Garden Optimizer. It's a super simple tool with just 4 pages and accessible with 4 buttons. 1 page is your garden parameters, a second is for your climate parameters, and a third is for your crop definitions. But the real magic happens on the garden page. We took every measure to make the design of this page slicker and more convenient than any garden app out there. You can click on any given day of the year and the AI will show you what you should have in the ground and at what spacing. You can choose to plant in rows or staggered for the best profits or the laziest, lowest maintenance garden. And if you're late at any given task, just click a button to re-optimize and the AI will reroute your plan. But we want your feedback before release. To get involved, pause this video and go to gardenoptimizer.com. That's www.gardenoptimizer.com. Sign up for our newsletter and we'll contact you shortly. Until then, man up and grow.